The cult, actually called or known as the Branch Davidians, is an offshoot of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They broke off from the church and moved out here from Los Angeles back in 1935. But despite the longevity of the cult in and around the Waco area, very few Waco residents that we spoke with had ever even heard of this cult before today.
I'm rolling. Go back to the car and give me another.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, today I am out in Waco, Texas, actually kind of outside from Waco, Texas, and we are outside the Double E Ranch. Now the Double E Ranch in 1993 was known for the Branch Davidians. And this is where David KORESH and the standoff for 51 days happened. Car coming by pretty quick here, and we're actually going to go down. I've been told that you can go down here now and you can actually visit the ranch, so we're going to go on the compound of what happened at Waco. Let's go real quick. Just want to show this road too, because this has been almost 33 years since this happened. So before we go in, this just gives the look of kind of what you would expect, I would say. Down this road, so much happened. A huge piece of history, and possibly the government mishandling it. Hopefully, I get some comments on this. I'd like to hear what everybody has to say. So we're going to start it right here where these bulls are. They're not cows, don't try to milk them, but this was the mole house directly across the street. And so the gate is open, and I guess we're good to go inside and visit. But this would have been the mole house, and directly behind me, they have been rebuilding the Branch Davidian Church. There's the lake, and this was the road that they had the media on, if I'm not mistaken, because the lake was there and they were to look over. This is pretty surreal showing up here. And real quick, these are two of the newest Davidian branch members, my dad and my uncle. They're the newest members. Oh, walk. Huh. That's a sign of it. So it looks like it is open today, so should we go in?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We have a sign here. There's a guy on the cross. Enter at your own risk.
Yeah, all this was added.
So you're saying that over here is where the mole house was?
That is the mole house.
Okay. And that's where all the agents were?
That's where, to start with.
Okay.
That's where they were doing all the observation and all the looking and all the spying before they moved the whole army in.
And it's funny because you don't really think about it, but when you look over here, it's not very far. It's actually pretty darn close.
400 yards?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, 400 yards.
Maybe not that far.
All right, we're gonna hop in over here. We're gonna go. This is all the names of how many people was it? Was it 81?
7 shepherds and an advent. All the 7 shepherds. Here we go.
These are the people that their lives were lost. Here's the Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
On February 28, 1993, a church hands member known as the Branch Davidian came under attack by the ATF and FBI agents. For 51 days, the Davidians and David KORESH stood proudly. April 19, 1993, the Davidians and their were burned to the ground. 82 people perished.
18 were children.
10 years or younger. Wow, and there's their names.
Age 6, age 2, age 6, age 1, age 4.
Terrible.
Age 8. The adults I can see, but killing age 1, age 3.
Do you think the fire
USA.
would start started by the tear gas?
Yes, they were. The FBI started the fire.
Because people were
They had
saying,
tanks here. They called out the military against civilians.
Uh-huh.
First time it's ever been, they used military against civilians of the United States. They called out the military.
And supposedly that's what stoked, that in Ruby Ridge is what stoked Timothy McVeigh to do the bombing in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Wow.
Age one,
Something else being here. I'm going to step over here too. So you can see where it curves around here, and I'm just going to walk over to this fence off to the side real quick. It was right out there. And we're going to head over to the church. This is wild for someone like me that was 93. I was not that old at the time. I was 16 years old, 17. Crazy. All right, we're gonna head down the road. Like my uncle was saying too, 81 people lost their lives, and it was the first time that the government was ever used against its own citizens. I don't know, maybe there's other stories that haven't been really put out there, but this was the main one when TV was first coming into play, and you know, the news was here and it was broadcasted, so people were well aware of this, of the technology age.
The peace of John Zanter's Sunday morning was shattered, literally, when gunfire erupted a half-mile down the road from where he lived. How many gunshots did you hear?
It was quite a few, you know. I couldn't really say how many it was, but he knew it was something that wasn't normal.
So here's the church, the newest church. I'm not sure if this is the original one, but go inside to see if the door's open. Okay, this is where they would like the donation, right here. If you would like to visit the church museum, please call George Allen Pulliam.
Despite the tragedy, Zanter says he doesn't mind having the cult members as neighbors.
If they mind their own business and we mind our own, they got a right to be there too.
Many Waco residents had never heard of the Branch Davidians before today, despite the cult's existence here.
So I just called this number, and they actually said I can go in here and I can look around and check out the museum of what it looked like. They said I'm more than welcome to come on in and just look everything over. Wow, so don't trust the government. And this is the history of the church, but prophecy fulfilled here. I got the radio playing. Here's the I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt not have no other gods before me, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Now playing the Waco murder, the real story, available for donation. This is really something to see. They have a donation table here, the Ashes of Waco, if you are interested. Pick up a postcard. Might have to pick some things up here. Beyond the Flames by J.J. Robertson. The Ashes of Waco. Over here they have all the victims. These followers of the KORESH believed he was the lamb. The branch victims on this wall. Only one we noticed earlier outside. There's David KORESH. So sad to see these kids. Every hidden thing shall be brought to light. And they got a picture of Hillary and Bill there. Why the Deep State Massacre, David KORESH. And then there he is right there. There's a photo of David KORESH, and it looks like this is pretty surreal to be here. I am thankful that they were so nice. I called them. They were very nice. They gave me the phone right away and said, if you want to go inside, check it all out, have a run of the house. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. We were looking at this, and this was the compound before the ATF came in. So it's just the gym, the pool, water tower, and then the buses. We're going to go see that. This is once the ATF came in and burned it down, but down here they have before KORESH, the KORESH compound. Back through here, I thought the bus was there, but that's the bend in the road that we made.
Well, this guy was at both of them. He was at Ruby Ridge and Waco.
Interesting. So this is showing in 1987 when KORESH returned to Mount Carmel. He found out the property cache of 2,000 automatic guns with 1,000 rounds of ammo packed in wooden crates ready to be shipped to the Contras in Colombia. That's interesting. And this is supposedly a picture of David KORESH afterwards, an autopsy photo. But there's the house that we stopped by, the ATF house, and then here are the agents. They look pretty gung-ho for just coming on civilians.
Lutheran Church, yeah.
Trophy pictures, as they're called. The FBI trophy pictures.
Read about this asshole.
This meme has been making the rounds. Waco and Ruby Ridge. And now I was talking about Ruby Ridge earlier, like fresh wounds. That's what started Timothy McVeigh to do the bombing in Oklahoma. This man seems to revel in the death and destruction that he and his fellow agents inflicted on American citizens. Now it says Joe Biden is purposely appointing corrupt and violent people. Why? To be worse than Trump almost every day. Ashes of the people murdered. And then there he is.
Ashes of people murdered, yeah.
Murdered's a correct word in my mind. Stepping outside now from the Branch Davidian, the new church, obviously. I'm going to go look at some of the stuff that's left on the compound now that I've looked around it. This kind of makes me sick, and it'll probably do the same to you if you have any sort of a heart. This is the vault where the mothers and children were gassed. Now, when they were gassed, supposedly, that started the fires. Let's take a look inside, how much we can actually see. Oh, it's filled up with water now. And over here, this was another building that David KORESH tore down and then made a swimming pool out of. I guess we're gonna find out too just how far this all goes. Most likely the people I spoke to on the phone living over there. I did not bring my trunk, so I will not be going in the pool today. Looks like a turtle has found his way in there. But here are some of the original structures. Look at the turtle. Oh, he went under. But yeah, you can see there's people still living out there. And there's quite a few people showing up. I mean, that you really wouldn't think about. Oh, there's the turtle again. It's always really weird to me when I'm walking somewhere where, you know, something that's happened in the past, whether it was, well, this was horrible. But there were good days here too. I mean, there's people in the pool. I mean, they were probably having fun splashing the kids that were murdered. were out here. I mean, they probably had... I don't know the story well enough, and I really want to know it, but I feel like it's still just so covered up. Maybe I'll step down here. Take a look around. Here's my dad. Did you bring your shorts? I guess I would hope so. There's a turtle in here. I don't know if it's a snapping turtle. My dad's gonna... Don't go swimming. Don't go in head first.
That's not a snapping turtle. That one's not.
Yeah. And then you can see the walls here. It's going to be a longer video. I'm going to try to show just the compound. And from what I've been told, they're building up out that way on the road. There's a stop sign and it says don't go any further. So you're more than welcome to look all around here. So we're going to walk to the back here and away from the pool, just so it's over there. There's more walls over here.
Yeah.
To what looks like... Oh, okay. Another area. Maybe I can walk down here. I know Michael from Grim Life's been here. I think Scott on Tape's been here too, if I remember correctly. But I thought these were the tunnels. And as you can see, I'll walk over here. There's a doorway here that goes through. And more of these walls. It's pretty nice being able to go with my uncle and my dad to see this, because we all lived through it, like so many of you too. So this might have been the tunnels that went through, and this is what's left of the school bus. Buried bus area. This is the part that a lot of people do talk about. That's what's left of the school bus. It's solid. It's a wreck. We walked over there already, so. The buried bus area. So the tunnels might have went from here into the back or under these grounds. You can see as I walk over here, some more structures of something built in here. Crazy. This is just, that's the word I would use. Now, as I stand here, I don't know what my real belief is in what happened. I mean, I was super young when this happened. I've read up on it quite a bit. I know the Branch Davidians were part of the Seventh-day Adventist. They broke off to make their own, somewhat of a church, or their own division of the church, that Branch Davidians. So I don't know really how I feel about it. All I know is the way that the government came in and what happened to the kids 100% should not have happened. I think Janet Reno came in at this time, and I think that they reacted very quickly. I know David KORESH was busy writing his own part of what he perceived as the Bible, and that he told his attorney that the 7 seals, once they were done, that's what his addition was to the Revelations, was once that is done, that he was going to surrender himself. Now, I also heard that he was shot. I don't know if this is true, but this is a very dark part of him saying that after he was shot, he told somebody inside to take him out on a gurney with explosives, where he was going to blow himself up at the ATF agents, and that for everybody inside to begin shooting at them. I don't know if that's true. That never happened. So we will never know. Now, 4 to 5 survived this. That's it. 4 to 5 people still made it out of here. For the rest of them, rest in peace. I feel like I'm saying that a little too often lately. Now, the ATF, while they were out here and they were at that road over here, did say over a loudspeaker that they would not use any gunfire of any sort, and then they came in with tear gas. I think the total amount of children being under 18 was 21 that died. This is the road to the new compound. Very peaceful. Such a horrible event that happened in my lifetime, and probably most of yours too. Now, with that being said, I think that's going to do it. I've been wanting to come out here for a very, very long time. I love history. I love good or bad. I like seeing it. I like, you know, that this is something that's tangible. And like this video. If you like this video, please comment on this video if you remember it, or you have your own ideas of what happened. There's so many theories out there. I find them all very interesting. I don't know. I wasn't here. I don't know the facts. I know that a lot of people died that day. Maybe David KORESH could have done something different about it, but like I said, leave me a comment. And with that being said, please consider subscribing. As always, we got more places to go, more things to see. I appreciate you watching. So, from Waco, Waco, I will see you next time. Maybe one or two more things, but okay, so that's the main road we came in. That's the mole house. Like I was saying, the mole house. I don't know. That's a weird name to call it just because it's the only house out here. So a mole is usually somebody you don't know who it is. Like, you clearly would see that and be like, oh, well, that's him. But here's the property. The bus is right there. The pool's right there. The church is right there. And this is the road that comes in from the street. Still walking the grounds. And so this says, I saw under the altar something of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on earth? I don't know what that signifies, but I'm sure it was part of something. And I'll walk over here too real quick. I really want to show everything because I don't think I'll ever be out here again. I saw it. In memory of the Bait officers who lost their lives. The Bait officers. Oh, BATF. Conway LeBleu, Todd McKeon, Robert Williams, and Stephen Willis. So even whatever they think, they still have, for the officers, the ATF that came in memory of, in remembrance of all the men and women and children who were victimized and brutalized, slaughtered in the bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building on April 19th, 1995. We pray that they and their families find comfort and peace in our Lord. I'm walking on the right-hand side of the church, and they have these cinder blocks. Now, these all look new. The cactus live forever. There's some beams here. I'm going to walk around. It doesn't say don't walk around this way. It is getting warm, so I will keep my eyes out for snakes. Got a couple of horses out there just eating, but I'm gonna walk around the back. I don't think a lot of people from the videos I've seen show this area. This would be the back of the new church, and I'll pick up when there's something to see. And don't grab that wire. Highly electric. One more shot. There's the turtles I keep submerging every time I come over there. There's two of them, maybe three. But yeah, I'll pull it back. Just gonna end it here. Right next to the church, the pool, the lake. 32 years ago. Where does the time go? I think he's gonna disappear again. He's a big one. Maybe he's not. There he is. His buddy did. Okay, from
KORESH comes from.
So we walked down here. My uncle's telling me, what was that again? So Vernon Wayne Howe.
That is David KORESH.
Yes.
He changed his name to David for the king of Israel, and
KORESH.
KORESH was the king that financed the rebuilding of Jerusalem after the ransacking by, I don't know, somebody.
Yeah.
But this is actually David KORESH's name.
That's pretty wild. A lot of people don't know that. Vernon Wayne Howe. A little more bonus footage, and it looks like the cows all came home. They all came from around the back. Hey guys. Hello. Oh, look at those ones running. Were you here? Okay, so I wanted to point out one more thing because we went down this road and I found this really interesting. So this road's been here since those days. If you look on the side, all the way down the road, all these are tank tracks. So there was 4 tanks at least that came in, and they go almost a mile down this way on both sides of the road. You can see where the road bends, and it's a soft road. So these are over 30 years old, these tracks. Right here, you can see how wide they are. That is just insane. Right here by the mole house. I wonder if somebody lives here. I figure they probably do. Yeah, this goes all the way down. We went all the way to the end of the property out there. There's 2 ponds out here. I just find this so fascinating just because it was such a big piece of history. And I lived it, like I said. It's just wild to finally be here. I'm glad I was able to make it out here. But yeah, you can really see the tank tracks. And the reason why we're back, well, I gotta come out here real quick. But look at that, there's that pond. And then if you look, see this purple? Now, if you're from California like me, you probably don't think anything of that, but they have the white and the purple. In Texas, the purple on top of the barbed wire means you cross over, you can be shot. So, it is private property. And now we're going to end this video. I know it's running a little bit long. We have to hit the road. Got to get some lunch. Got to hit some Buc-ee's, but there's a lot more cows out here than I thought there were. From Waco, Texas.
Unfortunately, this was the end of their world for the 4 federal agents, and we should point out there was another victim. A 2-year-old cult member was also shot and killed in the gunfire. One other point, the local newspaper and an Australian detective hired by former cult members has been investigating this group back since 1990. We're told that information was turned over to local authorities at that time, but they were told that there was not enough information to pursue any investigation at the